Hello, hello. I'm Dr. EJ Johnson, and I'm the founder and creator of Elev8ed Guru. And welcome to the Elev8ed Moment. As you can see around me, there are crystals all around here. That's our topic for today. We're going to be doing a basic, very crystal learning experience 101. And we're going to talk about some important crystals to utilize for attracting love, manifesting love and intimacy, and also how to amplify self-love with crystals. We're going to look at a few crystals that really play an intricate role in the experience of love being present in their energetic tonality, and we'll share those with you. We'll get a chance to look at them and see what they're about, and I'll share a little bit of information about how you can utilize them to attract more self-love and more love. So thank you for joining us today. Stick around, we have a lot to share. Well, a scientific explanation of what crystals are: they're solid substances and they form out of natural geometric into natural geometric shapes by the earth, basically. They're physical pieces that are created out of carbons and gases and subatomic particles and quantum particles, all created by the earth, the elements. There are some crystals that they're actually called tektites. They are not created on earth, and that's not the scope of our talk today. But I just want to let you know that crystals are utilized for many purposes. They're utilized in spiritual ceremony. They're utilized for healing. They're utilized for space amplification. They're utilized for energetic amplification. They're utilized as energetic conduits and conductors. So there are many, many uses for crystals. And I've noticed just in our maybe like since the pandemic in the last few years that there are more and more people curious about how to utilize them, how to embrace them fully, and how to care for them. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today, how you can bring them into your space, bring them into maybe your spiritual practice in a powerful way, and utilize them. Actually, crystals are the basis of why Elev8ed Guru was created. Our brand story is such that I would have these dreams about beads and crystals, and then I acted upon those dreams, like literally following what I saw in the dreams to create Elev8ed Guru. So that's why I say, in essence, Elev8ed Guru is a co-creation. Speaking of Elev8ed Guru, if you haven't checked out our website, please do. You can see it just below my name here. It is elevated.guru. So there's no .com. It's just elevated.guru. Please check it out. We have some very special products there that you can actually purchase raw crystals from us. You can also pick up jewelry that is made out of crystals. We call them totems, which would be like these bracelets that you see me wearing that are made out of these precious crystals and amplified to help bring about the energy that are naturally a part of the crystals. So why crystals and why now? So crystals have been used across various cultures throughout history. They're not new. Actually, crystals go back towards creation, right? As Earth was being created. And different spiritual practices, cultural practices around the world use crystals in many different ways. And so they've been used for spiritual enlightenment. They've been used for healing. They've been used for armor even. And there is not, and I've studied a lot of different religions across throughout my life, but there is not one religion that I have found that has been abhorrent to or abhor crystals. Like they all embrace them in some capacity, even Christianity. Um, there are crystals in sacred texts. So they're not new, is my point, is that, they really have been around for quite some time. And the interesting thing is that the the way the knowledge around crystals, I believe, passes down is through utilization. Now we're writing books about them, we're teaching classes, we're sharing information about them. But I believe that traditionally, the reason why they haven't had such a big stage all throughout our time, or maybe they weren't well received at times, is because they've always been considered mystical. And some people feel that mysticism is very close to witchcraftery, or whatever terminology you want to use. It could be witchcraft or voodoo or any of those that often get a negative have a negative connotation in society. But in essence, crystals have neutrality. They're not good and they're not bad. They just project a certain timbre of energy, and how you utilize them is up to you. You can utilize them in many ways, and I'm actually going to give you several ways that you can utilize them in your life. But they're not magic in the sense. They just do what they do. They're there to present a timbre, or what I like to call a color of energy, and you can use that energy in whatever way you need. It's no different than going to a comedy show and taking in the energy of laughter in that comedy performance, right? You go to the comedy show, you watch something, or you're in an energy with other people who are laughing and having a good time, and most likely you take on that same energetic tone, right? That same color of energy. You feel buoyant and you have levity in your heart as a result of being in that field. Crystals are no different. For many people who are highly sensitive, or what we call empathic, who can feel energy from many different sources, often connect with crystals because they can feel the energetic color that a crystal projects. And that energetic color feels different crystal to crystal. And sometimes when you are really sensitive to feeling energy from other sources, you can feel whether or not that crystal is the right energy for you. Now, I just said there's no right or wrong, there's no good or bad to crystals, they just are. Well, sometimes a crystal might not be the right energy for you at that moment. And so it may feel like you don't resonate with it. And that's completely fine. It's perfect. It just means that the color of energy that that particular crystal is emitting doesn't necessarily resonate with you. And that's fine. It doesn't mean it is bad or wrong. It just means that maybe there's another crystal that you might resonate with more. So the idea here is to just give you a sense of, why crystals are now becoming even more popular, right? Part of them is they're beautiful, they're pretty. I mean, who doesn't? A diamond is a crystal, a ruby is a crystal. It's no different than some of the other ones like citrine and rose quartz. They're all crystals. And so the reason why I believe that it's becoming more and more popular in our time now is because people are starting to open up to the possibility that they have healing properties in them. And, crystals, like I said, they have a color of energy. And that energy color speaks to a certain type of property. And it could be healing, it could be calming, it could be nourishing, it could be protection. It spans so many different different characters that you can extract from the energetic field of a crystal. And so what we're going to talk about today are the crystals that speak to love. And the crystals that speak to love, they feel loving. So when you tap into their energy and you feel them energetically, they feel like a nurturing type of pure love. And some of them feel a little more, you may feel energy that is a little more aggressive than others. And some of them may be really soft and gentle and warming, and some may be a little fiery and what I like to say sassy, if you will, a little more fiery in their feeling tone. So we're going to discuss some of the crystals that do project an energetic color of love today. But here's one thing that you should consider when you're thinking about embracing crystals into your space, into your spiritual practice, into jewelry or that you wear. You want to allow yourself grace around being able to feel their energy. Whether you feel the energy or not, the energy is still present. Here at Elev8ed Guru, we take every crystal that we use and we try to clean it and clear it so that you can feel its purest essence, the energy of its purest essence. There's something to consider. When we are energetic beings as well, human beings. Every time we touch something, we leave a part of our energy attaches to that object. And so as you touch crystals, you may exchange energy with a crystal. You touching a crystal will leave your energy imprint on that crystal as well as the crystal giving to you. It is an exchange. The energetic field that is between us and any element that we touch is an exchange. We can, if you have a heightened sense of feeling energy, you will feel that exchange. Sometimes that exchange is more powerful in one direction or another, but it is always an exchange. And so when we're creating products and shipping products to our clients and customers, we like to clear ourselves so that we come to the table with the cleanest form of energy, so that as we touch a product that we're going to ship to a client, or as we're making a product that we're shipping to a client, we want to make sure that our energetic field is in alignment with the energy that that particular product is designed to amplify for our customers. And so that's why we have a multi-step clearing process for every product that we ship out to a customer. And part of that multi-step clearing process is that we clear ourselves first. So we don't want to pass on any energy that is less than loving to our clients or to the products that we're touching and handling and sharing. And that's part of our mission, is to come to work with the cleanest, most purest expression of love as ourselves, so that everything we touch regarding Elev8ed Guru and everything that we send out to our clients starts with that. So the beautiful thing about crystals is they're forgiving. You can't get them wrong, and you can't harm them. There are some crystals that are a little more fragile than others. There are some crystals that are super hardy. There are crystals that you can actually influence and program. And we'll talk about those in another session. But some crystals that you can actually program to magnify and amplify the energy that you want the most. And so we'll do another session, another episode where we'll talk all about programming crystals, and you'll see some of the crystals that you can actually program with your own energy. That's just how powerful you are. What can you do with crystals? People always ask this question. So, certainly there are many different things that you can do with them. And do you, another popular question that we always get is, do I need to do anything to make the energy of the crystal be present? And I'm going to answer the first question that we always get, which is, what do I do with them? So I'm going to give you a few ways that you can take crystals. And when I'm talking about crystals, I'm not necessarily speaking of crystals that you would wear. I'm speaking of more like just the actual crystal. If you see this, this is a very raw rose gold crystal. It has not been polished. Let me show it up close on camera here. It is still raw, so you see it still has, lots of character and detail to it. And as a matter of fact, this is one, rose quartz is one of the crystals that we utilize. It's probably the most well-known crystal of love, would be rose quartz. So I want to show you, there is a rose quartz raw crystal, and it's raw because it's in its closest form as to how it looks when it comes directly from the earth, right? When it's sourced. And this is a polished rose quartz crystal. You see the difference? So there's raw and there's polished. Raw and there's polished. So what can you do with these sorts of crystals? They come in many different shapes. You can see this one is shaped like an egg. This one is just raw, like it's, like a rock, basically, which essence, crystals are rocks. So what can you do with them? Number one, you can use them for spiritual study. And how do you do that? Or spiritual enlightenment, if you will. How do you do that? There are many rituals that incorporate crystals, many spiritual practices that incorporate crystals. Too many for us to go through here today. But one of the most popular ways to utilize crystals in your spiritual practice is to meditate with them. And in the meditation process, like when you hold a crystal, you are borrowing that crystal's energy. You're actually exchanging, right? So you're actually receiving that crystal's energy. And so if I wanted to amplify love in my life, amplify the love that I have for myself, I might meditate with rose quartz present in my experience. Now, do you have to hold them? No, you don't. You can still receive the energy that they offer by just having them in your space. However, holding them amplifies them, right? The closer you are to it, especially if you're not super sensitive to energy, you may need to hold it to actually feel the energy. If you are empathic or really sensitive, you may just need to be in the room or be around them in the space. So it really depends on your sensitivity to energy. Another key that I should bring up here is, do they need to be big to, like, is it the bigger the crystal, the more powerful, more magnified, more energy it emits? Crystals emit an energy that is consistent no matter what the size. Now, when if you're highly sensitive and you're in a room with many, many different crystals, you may feel, overwhelmed by that, because it may be a lot of, they're all emitting, lots of energy. But if you're with a solitary crystal and that crystal is large or small, it's emitting a consistent energy field. So it doesn't really matter. So the thing is, to use this for spiritual practice, there are many rituals you can, look up to see how you might incorporate this into your spiritual practice or spiritual connection. However, one very popular one that I'll share here, like I shared before, is to meditate on the energetic properties of the crystal. And so if I wanted more self-love, more love for self, more love in general, to be a beacon of love, I might hold a rose quartz crystal, either raw or polished, and in a meditative state, connect to the energy of love, of love, the love of these crystals. So, our first love crystal for the day is rose quartz, probably the most well-known love crystal of them all. If you walk into any crystal store across the world and you say, "Hey, do you have a crystal about love or that has the energetic tone of love?" You're probably going to get rose quartz as the first option, right? It's kind of like crystal 101. The second thing that you can do, and we'll talk about our second crystal here, is to bring that crystal with you, to carry it with you. Some people, women have a thing in the crystal world of wearing crystals inside of their intimate objects. Maybe it might be your bra, but guys, we carry crystals too. So we carry them in our pockets or wherever we can keep them connected with us. Carrying a crystal with you is powerful as well. You get to carry that energetic tone with you. I use palm crystals. I don't even have one here to show you, unfortunately, but you can actually put those in your pocket, and they have like a little groove to them where you can rub them, and it's a really soothing way to amplify that energy throughout the day, is to have that crystal with you. And plus, when you see a crystal, you're kind of reconnecting to it, and you have that presence, right? When it's in your face and you can see something, you presence yourself to that energy. The third way actually is to wear it as what we call a totem. And at Elev8ed Guru, we make various totems that combine crystals at times, but we call them totems. This is a bracelet. It's a beaded bracelet, and this crystal is made out of our second love crystal for today, which is citrine. This citrine crystal, and I'll show you another citrine crystal as well. But this one, citrine crystals are usually translucent yellow. They usually have a little yellow tinge to them. Some of them are very yellow, but citrine has multiple colors of energy that it emits. So one of them, which is not what most people talk about very often, is that it emits a clear channel of love, love in its purest form. This is a citrine, double terminated citrine, and I'll come back and do another episode about what terminated and double terminated means or not mean. But as you can see, it has this kind of golden, kind of yellowish tone to it. This is citrine. One end of it has all of these beautiful striations, and it's like a celestial event happening there. And then the other side is almost crystal clear. So it comes in many different forms. This is a double terminated, single terminated here. This is a tower, little citrine tower. Now, most people will talk about citrine in the context of success, wealth, money, finances, attracting wealth. However, what's interesting is that citrine has the timbre or color of self-love as a promotion of success, right? The confidence that you have by loving yourself with a pure, open heart, free of judgment, is what really sets us up for success. That's why citrine is a powerful crystal to utilize when it comes to loving ourselves and embracing our uniqueness, embracing ourselves for who we are and who we aren't. So citrine is one of our love crystals for today. The next love crystal I want to talk about is also another popular crystal. Most people know this crystal. It is amethyst. This amethyst is raw. It's half raw and half finished. But amethyst comes in many different forms. There's cloud amethyst. There's so many different timbers to what amethyst, how you can get amethyst, but it's one of the most popular. It's like rose quartz as well. This is another form of amethyst. See that? It's a little amethyst here. Has lots of beautiful color to it. Amethyst usually is purple. There is a green amethyst as well. But amethyst is um, a great love crystal for a couple of reasons. Number one, amethyst it actually amplifies the energy of our crown chakra, which is our closest connection to the creator of the universe. And it opens up our visionary perspective. So in the realm of love, it actually gives us the timber of the most purest and cleanest love that there is. It really is pure love. It's our direct connection to source. So how could you utilize amethyst to amplify more love? It's like in those moments when you're feeling unloved, amethyst is really powerful because it connects you right to the purest essence of love, which is the creator. And so it opens up the crown chakra for you to be able to receive the vision of the creator. And so if you do deep prayer, spiritual study, manifestation practices, meditation practices, having amethyst near you it amplifies the connection with source, connection with the creator, and amplifies love in that capacity. And so actually, I do want to go back to one point that I made earlier. We said, I talked about that it doesn't matter the size of the crystal. Crystals emit a level energetic field. And now, you can amplify that by, the processes of cleansing and making sure that they're clean and clear. However, even as I'm speaking right now, I'm holding two amethysts and one in each hand, and I'm starting to sweat. So the energy from these two stones is really pretty powerful. I'm pretty sensitive to energy, and I usually can embrace a lot of energy before sweating. So the interesting thing is I have on so many different, like I have these two amethysts. I don't know which one is which. I just know that I started sweating when I picked up the two amethysts, so I'm just gonna blame it on that. But amethyst is like a standard crystal. It's like if you're building your own crystal kit, you building crystals or attracting crystals into your experience. You're probably going to start with a rose quartz and an amethyst. Like those two go together really nicely. They play together nicely, and they're a great staple for any sort of crystal kit. So the next crystal that I want to talk about is rhodonite. Rhodonite. This crystal, rhodonite, it has these purplish kind of hues to it. It also has some darker color to it. Like it's like speckled in a way with these different colors. Hopefully you can see that pretty good there. Rhodonite. Rhodonite is a sleeper love crystal. I don't think a lot of people talk about the obvious love timber of rhodonite. Rhodonite has, if you hold rhodonite and you feel the energetic tone of rhodonite, which this piece of rhodonite, I can actually feel it a lot. It has this feeling timber of love of life. So its feeling tone is about loving of all life. So it has this kind of universal love feel to it. If you're looking to attract universal love into your experience, maybe it's communal love, universal love, love of nature, love of of culture. You're looking to expand. It's almost like waves of love. Speaking of waves of love, is um, my beloved's term. She uses that term, waves of love. And so rhodonite has that feeling. It's like the rolling wave of love that goes beyond your own immediate love for self. So it's about expanding your wave of love, which is really great for family, for community, for society, right? It's a great um, stone to utilize for expanding the rippling effects of love. And one thing that you can do, and rhodonite is really good for, is amplifying love in a space like your home, right? Because it has this kind of waving effect of love, like waves of love that billow out. Placing rhodolite around your home, like in a gridded sort of way, like maybe one in one room, so that you have all corners of your home with a piece of rhodonite in it, will do wonders for amplifying waves of love throughout your home. So rhodonite, great love crystal. And of course, you would love yourself if your home is filled with love. Having rhodonite present would make that possible. The one of the best crystals for self-love, really grounding yourself in self-love and internal thoughts about yourself being those of loving energy, is moonstone. This moonstone is usually translucent, comes in kind of like whites, and this is more of a peach type moonstone. But moonstone is great for a couple of reasons. We align with the moon internally. So our moon sign is our internal processing filter. And so the moonstone is all about working through, it can assist you in working through any sort of self-doubt or lack of worthiness, feelings, and moonstone is really great for transforming that. So utilizing moonstone as a partner in your journaling exercises, or utilizing moonstone when you need to communicate what you're internally feeling in a way that's loving. Moonstone can be a great asset for that. And it's kind of a sleeper love crystal. Moonstone. It's really gentle in its energy. It's very supportive and gentle, and not unlike rhodonite, it has this sort of wave feel to it. It's very, very gentle in its feeling tone. So if you're new to crystals and you're highly sensitive to energy, moonstone is also a great stone to start with because it's very, very gentle. So a couple of more ways you can use all of the stones in your life, in your experience. We talked about carrying them. We talked about wearing them. We talked about placing them throughout your home, in your meditative space, meditating with them. You can also add them to a part of your car or transportation. There are many people that put them in their car for protection and safety, and we'll get to another talk about protection and safety stones. But placing them in strategic areas where you can see them and get present to them on a regular basis is helpful. And so I want to invite you to create a space of love for yourself with your loving crystals. And just really quickly, the crystals we talked about today were rose quartz, which are pinkish in tone. We talked about citrine, which are golden or yellow in tone. We also talked about amethyst, purple amethyst. There's also green amethyst. We talked about rhodonite, which has this kind of pinkish with black sprinkles, spots. And we talked about moonstone, which usually is white or this peachy sort of tone. So we covered our basic 101. What do you do with these things that look like rocks? How can you best set yourself up for better self-love, connected to source, the ultimate love? Projecting out love from yourself is to get yourself a kit, to create a kit for yourself of these love stones. Keep them with you, be present to them, sit with them, meditate with them, pray with them, and just, you're not praying for the stone to do something that is necessarily magic. It's just the energetic, whatever the energy that stone has, may it be amplified so that you feel it in your heart, and then you can amplify it. So there's nothing here that is anything that you're not doing already, right? These crystals are made by the Creator in Earth. Like, just like the Creator made Earth, these crystals are made within it too. And so hope this was helpful for you all, and I hope this maybe answered some questions for you. If you'd like to know more about how to purchase some of these from us, we ethically source our crystals. We bless them through our blessing process before we send them out to you. You can always visit Elev8ed Guru and pick something up for yourself. Maybe you want a totem, maybe you want a mala made out of crystals. We have it all there at elevated.guru. You can see just below my name, that is the website address you can go to. And before we end today, I just want to say, if you've watched this show at any point in time, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Please like and share this with your community if you think they can benefit from this. But I also want to invite you to join our community, the Elevated Purpose community. The Elevated Purpose community, you should see a sign up right now. It says join the free Elevated Purpose community. You can go to elevatedpurpose.com. It's free to join. We have amazing trainings there. We have a weekly book club. As a matter of fact, we're starting a new book called A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, where we just come together and have great discussion about some of the insights and ahas that were revealed in the books that we're reading. So we'd love to have you be a part of our community. It's absolutely free. It will forever be free. That is our commitment. We just really want like-minded individuals who are there to amplify their purpose, what they came here to do, and to celebrate the joy of being a creator in their own life. So we'd love to have you join us. It's elevatedpurpose.com. You can join absolutely free. Please share this with your friends as well. Thank you. Like and share for more.